Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing well. So today's video is actually missing somewhere. So this is the cover that I made the other day, and I recorded a process video of me fixing the spine because I couldn't just leave it. I really wanted to fix it, and unfortunately that video has just disappeared somewhere. So I just wanted to show you this journal cover, like how I've edited it and what I've done to kind of fix it basically. So obviously I can't kind of like take it apart to show you, but I didn't really want you guys to miss out on the kind of like fixing of it, so that if you did something similar yourself, then this would hopefully help you to kind of figure out how best to do it. So the first thing that I did was I got one of my X-Acto knives, and basically I cut, so originally this whole thing was covered in this black wallpaper, but it started to tear down here basically, and it was tearing on the inside as well, and it just was messy, and it also wasn't showing the spine pieces, the ledge pieces, and that's because I didn't glue it down. I literally just glued it on the inside rather than on the outside, which if there were no ledges, it might have been okay, but I mean that also I think maybe caused the tearing because I've never had that before. So what I did was I got my X-Acto knife, and I just chose to kind of, I didn't go over the top up here, I just literally carved all the way down here and then all the way along the edge, leaving what I'd glued on the spine as it was, because I'd already glued it in. Didn't want to get involved with trying to like pull off what I'd glued and things like that. And then I just did the same thing on the other side as well. So I know this isn't exactly even, but it's a junk journal, so hey ho. So after I'd done that, I then just peeled away, well, I didn't even peel it away because it wasn't glued on, so I just pulled off the bit that I'd cut out. So I just got like a big rectangle of that wallpaper that I'd cut out. I'm not saying I did that in the neatest of ways, so that's definitely, it wasn't in one piece, I'll be honest. So then what I did was I picked another piece of wallpaper, and I thought this one would look quite cool with it. And what I did was I glued it onto the spine in the first instance. So I leveled it up so that it was central to the spine, and then glued it onto the spine. Now, I've never worked with wallpaper before on a junk journal, so I maybe didn't use the right techniques, or I think as well my spine is quite collapsed in, because I've glued it in a weird way, because I originally glued it with fabric underneath, and I think I've just done it in a very strange fashion. Normally my spines are like really high up, so they're very easy to see, like the ledges and things, whereas on this one you can barely see it because you can see it's ridged inside. So what I did was I glued the spine down, and let me just, so I got this one, this is my glue one, and I basically just tried to like really work it into the ledges. So I put some glue on either side of the ledge on both sides, and I just really worked that glue into those creases. It didn't quite go in the way that like normal paper would, I think, maybe because the wallpaper is quite thick. So once I'd done that, I then basically had these overlapping pieces, and I cut them into little areas so it was easier to manage, and it worked a lot better as well. So I just basically glued that piece down and then glued that piece down as well. Oh, sorry, Raven. And then after that I then just glued this side down, just literally straight down. It was just a straight piece of wallpaper, so I glued that side down, and then I glued that side down, and then I just had the two colours, and then I glued these inside flaps down as well. I did put some clips on them to hold them, but I only left them on for like 10 minutes or so, because if you can see here I did leave some clips on this journal all the way around, and you can kind of see there, like the shine of where it's really pressed in, and it had like absolutely ripped under one of these. I think it's that one because I can feel it. So yeah, it just ripped the paper off inside. So yeah, leaving clips on this wallpaper was not a good idea. So I only put the clips on for like 10 minutes, pretty much whilst I was talking to you, and deciding what I was doing, because you know I like to procrastinate. So then once I'd done that, I then got some ink. So I just literally used a distress ink and an ink blending tool, and I just literally went over the edges just to try and like highlight the fact that there are some ledges in there as well, and then I just did a little bit kind of down the edges as well, just to make it look a little bit older, a bit more worn. So then once I'd done that, I decided that I didn't like just the straight line of one wallpaper over the other, so I chose to use some lace. So this is the lace that I used. So literally all I did was I glued a little piece on this side so I could kind of hold it in place, and then I just put a bead of glue straight down between the two pieces of wallpaper and glued this down, and I used Fabri-Tac for that. I was going to get my bottle to show you, but it's not in a Fabri-Tac bottle. And then I just literally glued, like I lifted up the edges, put some glue underneath it, and then rubbed it down. And the good thing about Fabri-Tac is if you get like little bits of glue like sticking out, like little strings or anything, you can just rub them away and they literally disappear. And then I glued the lace in on this side, and then I did the exact same thing with that side as well. And that has now made me a journal cover that I'm actually like 90% happy with. I'm not too happy about this spine. I have really tried to push this out and make it like really work, but it just won't push out because the Fabri-Tac's so strong, and it's just in there now. But this journal, I think I am going to use it to make like an ideas type journal. So you know when you make things in junk journals like ephemera and stuff like that, and then you do it once and you do it like a long time ago or something, and then you're like, oh well, what did I actually do? And then you're trying to make a new journal and you've got no ideas and stuff. So what I wanted to do was just fill this with some various pages, maybe just some scrapbook papers that I'm not really a big fan of, or maybe just a bunch of papers that I've got left over from printing out thousands of digital kits from when I first started crafting. So yeah, there'll probably be quite a lot of Release the Crafting type papers in here because I printed out so much of her stuff and I just haven't used it. Not because I don't like them, they are gorgeous. I just kind of end up having my own ideas for my own kits and end up kind of using those instead. So what my plan is for the inside of this mess in here is basically, I'm going to do this on camera with you and hopefully the video will save this time. But what I am going to do is I'm going to sew a signature onto a piece of card, and then I will glue that piece of card onto here. So the signature will be sewn into the card and I'll glue the card on there. And the front, like the top showing area of that card is going to be patterned with, I don't know what, maybe I'll like cover it with wallpaper before I sew the signature on, or I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but whatever pattern paper I use for that, I'll then be covering over these edges with that same paper, and then this will be like a perfect cover. And then what I will do is use book corners, like little silver book corners, to go over the ends of these, because like I do quite like the style of this, but if you think about it, when you've got like a piece of card over it, I have like a piece of vellum there, so I'll have like something there, like a patterned paper to cover it. It's just, I feel like it just looks a little bit messy. So even though it looks kind of cool like that, when you think about when it's actually covered, it's going to look a little bit strange. So I'm going to be putting, once I've put the inside paper on, I'll be putting a book corner on each corner, and then that will cover up the inside. And then that will give me the journal cover that I'm after. So this is definitely narrower than a normal sort of like A5 piece of paper, so whatever I've got I am going to have to trim down, but it will also remind me that I can fold pages in and turn those into like little tuck spots and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully this is a good challenge, but at least I made a journal cover that I wasn't happy with, and I fixed it and I've made it into something that I actually really like now. But if you guys have any suggestions on anything that I could do differently, if you know how I can fix this depressed spine, anything that you can think of as a suggestion, please feel free to drop it in the comments. I do really love reading your comments. But that's it for today. I just wanted to show you that and just show you that it is fixable if you do make a mistake, because it is only junk journaling. Everything does not have to be perfect. You can make mistakes and you can cover them up and you can make different things, and I feel like I'm very happy with this. I'm definitely a lot happier with this than I was with the one colour, and it's given me an idea now for doing something else in the future for a different cover. So yeah, so happy accident, and I am glad that I was able to share it with you. So just if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And if you're not already a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button, because you will really help my business out and I will really appreciate it, and I'd love to have you as a subscriber, genuinely. Okay, I will leave it there for today, but thanks very much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!